5. Instability and misconception. Seed.
It's the seeds and the roots that create those fruits.
Sow.
Farmers sow the seeds in early spring.
Sew.
You get dressed in clothes made of cotton, grown in Georgia, and sewn in factories in Thailand.
Disturb.
She didn't wish to disturb the natural balance of the environment.
Disturbance.
People do not blame tourism for the disturbance of peace in parks.
Stable.
It is not the temperature at the surface of the body which matters. It is the temperature deep inside the body which must be kept stable.
Stability.
In ecosystem, community stability means the ability of a community to withstand environmental disturbances.
Unstable.
The brain is a slow-changing machine, and that's a good thing. If your brain could completely change overnight, you would be unstable.
Instability.
Without a strong financial system, capital market globalization can sow the seeds of instability in economies rather than growth.
Calculate.
The true size of fortune is calculated by what we give and not by what we keep.
Calculation.
Since they exclude any production not traded on markets, the official GDP calculations do not cover all the actual production.
Calculator.
The ancient Greeks figured out mathematics long before calculators were available.
Relentless.
The relentless downpour flooded the field.
Gene.
Twins provide a unique opportunity to study genes. Some pairs of twins are identical. They share the exact same genes in their DNA.
Genetic.
More complex cells spread their genetic material in more effective ways.
Genetics.
It turns out that the secret behind our recently extended lifespan is not due to genetics or natural selection, but rather to the relentless improvements made to our overall standard of living.
Geneticist.
Genes play a role in eye color, and in fact, geneticists have identified several specific genes that are involved.
Fraternal.
Identical twins always have the same eye color, but fraternal twins often do not.
Magnitude.
Scientists can estimate the role genes play by comparing the similarity of identical twins to the similarity of fraternal twins. If there is a difference, the magnitude of the difference gives a clue as to how much genes are involved.
Dispensable.
Part-time workers are considered dispensable and can be fired at any moment.
Indispensable.
Paul, a genius of the first magnitude when it came to electricity, was a failure as the head of the calculating department. Yet the company didn't dare offend the man. He was indispensable.
Variant.
Geneticists try to identify the specific genetic variants between fraternal twins.
Variable.
Distance traveled relates more directly to sales per entering customer than any other measurable consumer variable.
Invariable.
Because the meanings of words are not invariable, understanding always involves interpretation.
Invariably.
Hawaii has become, in the American mind, a sort of earthly paradise with invariably good-looking natives who live in a setting of natural beauty.
mess.
The window above the sink was broken, and hundreds of pieces of glass made a mess on my kitchen floor.
Tolerate.
Because our mom thought cooking was a good learning tool, she tolerated all of the mess that we made.
Tolerance.
Tolerance is the idea that all people should be equally accepted and equally treated, regardless of their differences from others.
Intolerance.
Many wars were caused by religious intolerance.
Conceive.
How plants can produce these substances is beyond the ability of human beings to conceive.
Conception.
The plan was brilliant in its conception, but failed because of lack of fund.
Concept.
The first automobile was called a horseless carriage, which allowed the public to understand the concept against the existing mode of transportation.
Inconceivable.
War is inconceivable without some image or concept of the enemy.
Consensus.
People think that disagreement is wrong and consensus is the desirable state of things.
Misconception.
We frequently overestimate agreement with others, believing that everyone else thinks and feels exactly like we do. This misconception is called the false consensus effect.